Welcome all here. This is the presentation for the 12th biennial meeting at PANE 2021, and hereby I am presenting subsisting oxidizing material in the parting agent selection in the fabrication of nuclear target. This is Nabendu Kumar Dev, a research scholar from Guwahati University, working under the supervision of Professor Kushal Kalita. These are the content of my presentation, where I will be introducing about the target requirements and the target fabrication technique, followed by the experimental setup, and then we will wrap up with the characterizations, including summary and the acknowledgement. Now, to begin with, we should know in any sort of the nuclear fusion reaction, we need two basic things. One is the good quality beam, and the other one is the good quality homogeneous and a uniform thickness target material, which should be of good tensile strength and should be stable, and it should not be contaminated with any other extra unwanted element, and there has to be the low trappement of the gaseous particles. And the fabrication of such thin and isotopically enriched target is really a challenging task, and because of which we normally adopt thermal evaporation technique for the most effective fabrication method. And many things targets has been obtained such before, but then hereby we are fabricating 61 nickel, 62 nickel, 116, and some of the oxidizing element like 144 samarium, 154 samarium, 142 and 148 neodymium, which has been prepared in the target development laboratory using thermal evaporation technique at Inter-University Accelerator Center, New Delhi. And such treatment has not been done before. I mean, such treatment of this selected isotope hasn't been done before. That's why we are doing it. And the oxidizing elements also again poses a serious threat, because we have to overcome those threat or challenges to make sure that the isotope do not get oxidized. Because of which we adopted such as a particular technique, which I'll be discussing henceforth. Now, what we did, we first attempted the self-supporting targets, which is the very good requirement for the nuclear fusion reaction, whereby we have taken the substrate, that is the fresh glass slides, and then we applied parting agent in the form of TPOL, which is readily soluble in the water. And then we have seen that the target that we obtained is highly inconsistent and they are not stable. So what we thought, we have to use the baking material so that we can withstand the target within that material. And we have taken baking element as carbon, especially for the non-oxidizing element, because they are not reactive to they are basically inert to many kind of a beam, many type of beam nuclei. And we have taken aluminum for the oxidizing elements, whereby we use potassium chloride as a parting agents. And for the oxidizing element, we have also thought of using caping foil. Caping foil means we will again deposit a thin film over the target element, so that the oxidization due to the element can be reduced. And we have done it, and the result is found out to be successful, whereby we have obtained the consistent and the stable target. Now we have used certain boards for the source, where we used a copper crucible for the carbon, molybdenum material for the potassium chloride deposition, which I'll be showing you in the next slide. Then this is the nickel and the aluminum deposition board, which is made up of the tungsten element. This is the annular board for the tin deposition element, which is made up of the tantalum. And this is the iron board used for the deposition of the oxidizing element like samarium and the neodymium. Now we have selected this material to give, keeping in mind that this is non-reactive to the isotopes that we are using it for the deposition. This is the physical vapor deposition setup that we have utilized, where you can see this is the molybdenum board, which has been kept for the potassium chloride deposition. And this is the apparatus wherein we have allowed the current to pass through. We have heated this one, and the deposition has been done by heating the material, and the deposition has been done on this substrate, which you can see here. This is a clean glass slate which has been clamped at a certain distance above the source. And this is the copper crucible, whereby we have kept carbon in the form of graphite, and this has been evaporated using electron gun technique. And using this one, we can obtain the layer on this glass slide, which can be seen here. You can see this is the layer Now, what we have done, we have used carbon slides here. We have deposited first the parting agents, followed by the carbon deposition, and then we went on annealing of this carbon deposited slide. And the annealing has been done to reduce the internal pressure, if at all they have been developed, or internal stress rather, if at all they have been developed during the evaporation process, or maybe due to some lattice misfit. And following this one, we went for the isotope deposition using the similar technique. And after isotope deposition, we went for the floating process. This is the floating process whereby the isotope deposited film has been inserted, I mean, including the substrate. This has been inserted inside the water in such a way so that the substrate is approximately of the order of 45 degree, nearly about 45 degree with the water surface. And then you can see the parting agent which has been deposited in between the film and the substrate. They are readily soluble in the water, which is allowing the film to be separated easily from the substrate. And this is the resultant film that we have opted. And then using stainless steel target holder, we could grab this film from the warm distilled water. The water that we used is of warm distilled water, a simple water. There is no such elements here. And this arrangement has been done to reduce the contamination, and finally we could obtain the target properly. So here are the steps overall for the non-oxidizing elements. We took a substrate followed by the deposition of the parting agents onto the substrate, and then we deposited the baking element, carbon in our case, onto the parting agents, and above the baking element we deposited the isotope. Similar procedure we have obtained for the oxidizing element, but here we also used caping element on top of the isotope so that we can save the isotope from being oxidized due to the environmental condition. And these are the targets that we obtained in case of the non-oxidizing things, 61, 62 nickel and 116, whose thicknesses are mentioned here, approximately 106.6 microgram per centimeter square, 150 microgram per centimeter square, and 102 microgram per centimeter square respectively. And these thicknesses has been verified using alpha energy loss technique and Rutherford backscattering spectrometry technique. And these are the target preparations that we have done for the oxidizing element. And we have prepared so many oxidizing elements at a single go. This is the diagram for the samarium target, and this is the neodymium target. And the range for these two targets has been found out to be approximately 200 to 700 microgram per centimeter square. Again, using profilometer technique and the Rutherford backscattering spectrometric technique, we have measured the thickness of these two target foil that we could achieve. And this is the result of the Rutherford spectrometry measurement. On the top row, we can see the oxidizing non-oxidizing element result, and in the bottom row we can see the oxidizing result. So in the top row we can see, apart from the carbon, which is the baking element, and the oxygen, which is very minimal in this case, and the tall peak of the isotope that we have deposited, we cannot see any other impurities in the substantial amount. And here we can see the amount of the oxygen is lesser than the carbon caping. So we were to a great extent we are successful in saving the oxidizations of this to target element, which will save ourselves or which will save the nuclear reaction in from giving the any unwanted extra fusing element. These are the same properties that we have done simply to check whether we could obtain any other extra element or not, but we could not find anything. But in case of the oxidizing agent, because of the caping, we could see the layer of the carbon element that has been deposited. But overall, we can see that we could not obtain any other extra unwanted element in the substantial amount. It seems to be uniform. And then we believe that our target is ready for the experiment. And then we went for the experiment, and then we can see that the spectrum that we obtained is very neat and clean, where we can easily separate the target of our I mean target of our interest from the unwanted beam-like particles. And then we can see that our experiment nearly was a successful one. And then we went for the experiment successfully. We check the RBS with various element as the parting agent, not element. I will say the salt is a parting agent, but when we use sodium chloride, we can see that the sodium is giving more contamination compared to the potassium and the barium. And barium is found out to be the hygroscopic element, which readily mixes with the water, and then it destroys the isotopic element, due to which we thought of using potassium chloride as a parting agent. Although potassium will be there, but then we can easily separate the potassium from the fusing product, as because the mass of the potassium is quite different from the mass of the fusing product. And this is the element we have done with without capping and with capping. We have seen that if we use without capping, that the oxygen content is very high, and with capping we have seen the oxygen is very minimal. So ultimately we can see that we are quite successful in achieving the oxidizing element. Now, to summarize, we have prepared 25 thin targets, each with 50 milligram for the non-oxidizing isotope, and 50 thin targets of oxidizing isotope using 100 milligram each. And then all the targets have been prepared using physical vapor deposition successfully. The thickness has been verified using alpha energy loss technique and profilometer technique, and purity check was done using RBS and SEM technique. We would like to thank to the special team or the collaboration for involvement in the target fabrication work. And these are the reference which we have used to develop the target. Thank you for attending the lecture.